of the intermediate advisory at 10 o'clock. And that has implications for its strengthening or lack of strengthening. Winds are still at 40 miles an hour. This is barely a tropical storm, minimal tropical storm. Pressure has dropped 1 millibar from 1,008 to 1,007 millibars. So this all indicates a system that is struggling to stay as a tropical storm. And I say struggling because look at what's happening. You've got the center of the storm here, but all the deep convection, the deep thunderstorm activity is displaced way off to the north. It's not over the center. For this to strengthen, you've got to get that deep up and down motion, that convection of the atmosphere right over the developing center, and that's not happening right now. So this remains a broad, weak tropical storm with maximum winds just in the northeast side of the center under that thunderstorm cluster of 40 miles an hour. In addition to that, we've got wind shear, and you can see, look at the winds blowing the upper level cloud deck off to the north here, just to the west. That's what's helping to blow all the thunderstorm activity to the north. We talked about how this wind shear might keep it from becoming a stronger system, and right now that is exactly what is happening. Now, all that being said, it is blowing a tremendous amount of tropical moisture toward the middle and upper Texas coast, and tonight we've got rain that's coming up from off the Gulf of Mexico, and some pretty good shower activity right now is reaching Galveston Island and the Bolivar Peninsula. You can see a lot of rain offshore, so this will be the beginning of a very wet night and I think wet morning and next wet 36 to 48 hours across the coast and all of southeast Texas. So there's your rain coming in from off the Gulf of Mexico. Tropical storm warnings now extend and include all of Galveston and the Bolivar Peninsula and coastal Chambers County. That's the orange area. The yellow area is a tropical storm watch, which means you could have tropical storm conditions south of Beaumont, Jefferson County in the next 48 hours. Would not be surprised at all if they extended that tropical storm warning up the coast to include Jefferson County. And that extends all the way down past Corpus Christi and down to Brownsville. Tropical storm warnings, meaning that we expect to see tropical storm force winds and conditions within the next 48 hours. Here's where the system is right now. And here's the latest forecast track from the Hurricane Center. No significant change in the actual track, except that it has slowed down just a little bit. The track forecast has slowed down. That's because they've relocated the center a little further south, so everything on the timeline is now backed up by a few hours. We now expect that this will make landfall or be close to landfall right here. That's Matagorda Bay. That's going to be going into early Tuesday morning. So late Monday night, early Tuesday morning landfall on the middle Texas coast, perhaps right over Matagorda Bay as a 65-mile-an-hour tropical storm. They still expect it will strengthen to a moderate tropical storm before making landfall. That puts us on the very wet side of that system going into Tuesday morning. Keeps us on the wet side as we've got a tropical storm perhaps sitting right over the center of downtown Houston as we head into Tuesday night. Perhaps winds sustained with part of the storm at 50 miles an hour. And then weakening. The other change is that it doesn't slow down the storm nearly as much now after it moves through Houston. It moves it on into Louisiana and does not slow it nearly as much. But the bottom line is this is still a significant rainfall threat for Houston, Galveston, southeast Texas starting tomorrow, lasting through Monday night, and probably lasting through most of the day on Tuesday. And so this is the rain total forecast as the American model sees it right now. This is the closest model run to what the Hurricane Center is putting out, so it matches up very nicely, the GFS. So this is now through 1 in the afternoon on Monday. We're not expecting a whole lot of rain, maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inches across our central and coastal counties. Some isolated spots could pick up 1 to 3 inches tonight and tomorrow by 1 p.m. So nothing too terrible is forecast between now and the middle of the day on Monday. Now, after that, the amount of rainfall really begins to accelerate, and the possibility that by Monday at 10 p.m., some of the coastal areas could now have picked up rain totals of 4, 5, 5.5 inches of rain. Harris County, 2.5 to 3 inches of rain on the south side of Harris County, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain northern Harris County, Spring, Woodlands, Kingwood, Mont Belvieu, 1.5 inches by 10 p.m. on Monday. And then it's Monday night through Tuesday morning that the bulk of the rain comes in and the bulk of the wind as well. Hobby 8.5 inches of rain by Tuesday morning, 8.5 inches Angleton, 7 and maybe a half inch up at Bush, 7.5 inches. And again, the models aren't perfect, so some of these heavier totals could be further east, they could be a little further west, they could be a little further inland. And this is when we'll have our greatest threat for flash flooding, street flooding, bayou flooding possible. But remember, we're going into this with our ground and our bayous very dry. Bayous are way down at the bottom of their channel. We've had a dry spell for the past 2-3 weeks. Good time to have had that in anticipation of a heavy rain event. By Tuesday in the afternoon, the GFS has the rainfall beginning to slacken off as it has the storm already moving into this position. So the GFS timeline's a little faster than the Hurricane Forecast Center's timeline, and that's not surprising. The models and the timeline are going to be off by a little bit. And then by Tuesday, 10:30, it has the rain being done. Wind may end up being another factor. This is our wind forecast. So this is tomorrow morning at 7:30. Again, this is the GFS, very close to what the Hurricane Center modeling is putting out. 7:30 in the morning, winds sustained at 22 in Galveston. That's very likely. Inland 5 to 10 miles an hour. So tomorrow morning things start out relatively calm. By 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, winds sustained at 30 or so in Galveston, sustained at 20 in Sugar Land, 26 El Campo, Palacios sustained at 36, Tomball sustained at 13, Bush 13. That's nothing we can't handle. However, as the center of this moves in, as we head into Monday night and the wee hours of Tuesday morning, that's 4:30 a.m. Tuesday, okay, sustained winds inland at, say, 20 to 30 miles an hour. That might be strong enough in some of the heavier downpours as well, where you get a stronger gust to bring down some little limbs. So there is at least a slight power outage threat as this comes in Monday night, early Tuesday morning. Winds sustained at tropical storm force in Galveston, I think, are likely going into the wee hours of Tuesday morning, so a little bit of chance for power outages. We go into Tuesday, mid-morning, 9:30, still sustained a little bit above tropical storm force in Galveston, 15 to 25 for most inland areas. Mont Belvieu, I see you at 30, Angleton almost 30, so coastal counties clearly have a little better chance for tropical storm force conditions, or maybe just a little bit below in most areas. And then by Tuesday, 7 p.m., the GFS has the center to our northeast, and at that point we start to dry out and we get a north breeze. That can't come fast enough. Inland areas, here's your forecast. Tonight, 50-50 chance for scattered showers. The closer to the coast you get, the better your rain chance overnight. Winds at 8 to 12. Monday, 70% chance for rain, off and on all day. Winds 10 to 15. So inland areas, we're talking like Harris County. Monday night, that's when the bulk of the storminess comes in. 100% rain chance, winds 15, maybe to 30 miles an hour at times. On the coast, tonight, a 70% chance for rain. You saw that rain coming in. I probably could raise that rain chance for tonight, coastal areas. Monday, it's an 80% chance for rain, winds 20 to 25. Monday night, 100% chance for rain, winds 30 to 45. There may be some higher gusts and some of the squally weather closer to the coast, getting that wind coming off the open water. That's where the strongest winds will be. So that's the coast and the bay, especially the west and north side of Galveston Bay. You're exposed to that southeast wind coming around that counterclockwise rotation of our system. Okay, it's 10:14 and 45 seconds. We have a live broadcast. Oh, real quickly, Addison's here. Addison, do you have some questions from Facebook? We're going to take some questions. We got a little bit of time.
Actually, I was able to answer a lot of people's questions
in
the chat right there. A lot of people are asking about are their school districts closed? What timing is the rainfall for their areas, respectively? So everyone's just very concerned how they're going to go out their day, what they're going to do with their kids the next few days.
I think just an increasing chance for rain. I'm seeing that the school districts, many of them are closing for tomorrow.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. Preparations in some areas need to be made. You don't want to put anybody in danger. This is a landfalling tropical storm. I understand that.
One question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone was asking me about flights. What do you think the airport's going to be impacted? Flights taking
The airports do amazingly well. I mean, they try to keep going right up until the point where they just can't. Exactly what their criteria is to shut down flights coming in and out, I'm not sure, but it's probably when you get close to tropical storm force conditions. So that would be Monday evening, Monday night. Flights Monday evening, Monday night may be impacted. I think that's the best answer to that.
Yep, I agree with you there.
Yeah. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're what I do want to show you is the surge forecast, how much the water is forecast to rise.
I just asked about the storm surge.
Okay, so we've got to go down to our downstairs studio. Addison and I will be with you at 10:30 on the TV side, and we will have that storm surge information for the coast and the bay. Remember, this is a tropical storm, so it doesn't look like it's that terribly bad, but we'll go over that and all the rest of the information on the storm and what to expect on a timeline going forward at KHOU 11 News at 10:30 here in just about 15 minutes. So we'll see you with our live broadcast on the TV side then, just a few minutes.